it is important I address an issue of urgent national importance, which appears to have gained some momentum, particularly on the social media in the past few weeks. Some groups of people, self-appointed crusaders and influencers, have been strategizing and mobilizing potential protesters to unleash terror in the land under the guise of replicating the recent Kenya protest.
Mr. Inspector General, that is not true. For you to say that some people are trying to unleash terror on the nation, that is not true. That is a false narrative you're trying to paint in the minds of people. Nigerians are basically saying they are coming out in peace. Nobody is planning to unleash terror. It's the police maybe that are planning to unleash terror on innocent, suffering Nigerians. So don't create a false narrative regarding the protest. It is a peaceful protest. You watch and see. Don't come out with force against the people. Tell Tinubu not to release hired thugs to come and disrupt it so that you can use the thugs and make it look as if the thugs are actually among the protesters. But it is not so. Historically, we have found out that many times when you see thugs, it is people that are hired by the people that are not happy about the protest, just like the Lekki Toll Gate massacre. So please, Mr. IG, don't send false narratives to the nation.
While the force acknowledges the right to peaceful protest as enshrined in our constitution, we must ensure that these protests do not snowball into violence or disorder. As a nation, we have had more than our fair share of violent protests, which with rather dastardly consequences. The last NSAS protest led to wanton destruction of public assets, including police stations, courts, transport infrastructure, and loss of several lives. Tales of sorrow, tears, and blood followed what was supposedly intended to be a well-intentioned exercise. Rather than to lead to any positive outcome, NSAS merely aggravated crime rates and insecurity in several parts of the country. Indeed, we are yet to fully recover from the huge economic losses and deep-seated psychological and emotional trauma inflicted upon our people by this protest.
Inspector General, that is not true. Have you done your thorough investigation and found out that those young people that came out to protest during NSAS were the ones that were burning buildings? Those are the same hired thugs. This is what we are talking about. This upcoming protest is peaceful. It is the thugs that are hired by politicians that are released to come and burn buildings and kill people. It is not peaceful protesters that burn, loot, and kill. As you have said, Mr. IG, you should be there to protect the lives of the peaceful protesters, because Nigerians are basically just saying they want to exercise their constitutional right to peaceful assembling and peaceful protesting. You know, IG, that most of the time, just like during NSAS, many of those young people were sitting down holding Nigerian flags when the army started to shoot at them and people were killed. It's not because they killed anyone, they didn't burn anything. It was the Nigerian army that started killing innocent protesters. Historically, anytime you see thugs coming out, you see violence, you see burning, you see looting, it is the same government, it is the same so-called politicians that hire people, they hire thugs to go and start burning buildings and burning cars, killing people, so that they can use that as a reason to start killing people, to start shooting people, because these people are trying to protect or hold on to power at all cost. Let me say to you, Mr. IG, we are coming out in peace. We are not trying to replicate or cut and paste what happened in Kenya, because Nigerian suffering is 10 times above that of Kenya. Their minimum wage is far, far above the one of Nigeria. So Nigerians have been very patient and very tolerant. Mr. IG, I beg you, talk to Tinubu. Tinubu, don't do anything foolish. Don't repeat what happened at Toll Gate, because you will not be ready, you will not be prepared for the backlash. It's going to be messy. So don't even try it. Don't release touts. Don't pay people, don't pay thugs to come out and disrupt it and look as if it is the protesters that are doing it, because this protest is peaceful. Peaceful. So if you see any violence, just know it's not from the protesters. And it is hired thugs by politicians that are using them. And when they burn down buildings, later on they will have to rebuild them and then by that make more money. Tinubu, that is now president, he led a protest before, several protests from Abiola's time to Jonathan's time. So what is wrong?
Stagnated without poverty. They have their right to do so. And we have our right to kick them out. Not enough that they are stealing from our children tomorrow.
Why are people so scared? Now the lawmakers are running away, going on a recess because they are scared of what is coming. Because they know they are guilty. They are the ones that are responsible for what is going on in Nigeria, for the suffering. See how they are paying themselves, the kind of lives they are living, the corruption.